motorsports. It is a new day. Formula One is go! The greatest spectacle in motorsports. It is a new day. Formula One is go! The greatest spectacle in motorsports. It is a new day. Formula One is go! The greatest spectacle in motorsports. It is a new day.
Way! Welcome, guys. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to qualifying. We are ready. Okay, we've got people lining up now at the end of the pit lane for the start of qualifying one. Let's get cracking. What do we think is going to happen? We're here for Belgium Grand Prix. Yeah, baby. Ooh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome along, welcome along. How we going, team? Welcome along, Rose. Oscar pole, Lando second, Max third. I like your thinking. I like your thinking. Max is the GOAT. Let's be real, guys. Let's be real. Broski might be built different. Alrighty. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, baby. Welcome along. Welcome, welcome. Fernando Alonso. My brain just didn't work then. Complaining about some blocking in the pit lane right now. Why did I do that? What an idiot. What an idiot! Andy, Oscar, Max, Lando, I like your thinking. I also think that Oscar should do well. I mean, he cooked yesterday. Now, you might be wondering why everyone's so eager to get out. Everyone's, like, literally fighting for position in the pit lane. Usually, it's not that big of a deal. But because the rain is imminent, it's very important for people to get their laps down now before it starts to rain. So that's why they're very eager to get out. More eager than usual, that's for sure. But, hey, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to qualifying. That's, Francorchamps. Sean, thank you for the follow. Welcome along, team. I just realized my beautiful Kayo, my beautiful Kayo jumper is green screened out, so I might need to have, like, another little graphic behind the camera layer, and then put it between me and the other backdrop, so that we avoid this from happening in the future. Because we can't be losing the beautiful branding. It's not good enough. Someone's just lost some bodywork. I think that's Stroll. Oh, okay. It was the Sauber who lost some bodywork. Yikes. Yikes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if that's necessarily wet patch, is it? I think it is. Is there spray, or is that just a mirage? I can't tell. I think it might be a mirage. Lads, what do you reckon? If you're looking at the track right now, mirage or water? It's hard to tell. I think it's just a mirage. Alrighty. Let's cook, baby. Let's cook. So, pit lane incident noted between Behrman and Alonso, and then also there will be one that will be noted between, I think, Bortoleto and Stroll as well, because, well, the Sauber just drove into Stroll and lost some bodywork. So they'll definitely want to have a look at that as well. Yikers, there you go. Okay, Alonso, no further investigation for unsafe release. Not bad. There you go. Alright, guys. Q1 here, Hulkenberg it was, not Bortoleto. Hulkenberg and Stroll, unsafe release. Okay. That makes sense, since Bortoleto's still in the pits, and Hulkenberg would be classified as not in the pits. So we've got Carlos now going to be the first person out to set a lap, getting that extra wide entrance into the final corner to set up with maximum bat lemon. Your board would never Bat Lemon, are you who are you? Do I know you? Are you is your name Tiana by any chance? Or do you just like Bortoletto a lot? Because my friend Tiana loves Bortoletto. So I'm just thinking, Leclerc for the win. Look, I'd love to see Charles do well. I'd love to see him do well. I don't know if he'll be able to. It's also going to be interesting to see setup choices. Because obviously we're looking at a situation where, okay, Parc Fermé is active. By that, whatever setup you use in qualifying, you have to use in the race. But the race conditions are going to be full wet, which means that your setup's going to want to be different than a dry setup. So do they favor a dry setup for qualifying or a wet setup? I think if you're smart, you go for a wet, because tomorrow is where it's all going to be made up. So anyway, we'll see. We might have some differences across the grid. It'll be interesting to see who does what. I, for one, hope that the Aston Martins do well. I wonder why. As a Ferrari fan, I doubt he's going to win, but sometimes you just got to believe Sage. I absolutely agree with you. There's no point being pessimistic. We could be realistic and say that it's unlikely, but that doesn't stop us from having hopes and dreams, am I right? I think hopes and dreams are very important. So let's keep up with the hopes and dreams, yeah? Oh dear. Oh dear. So Carlos not wanting to finish his lap, he's abandoned it right at the end there. Let's see, who else have we got? We're now on board with, I believe that's Esteban Ocon, and Hulkenberg just behind him as well. Not close enough for any slipstream is Hulkenberg, and hopefully for his sake, neither for dirty air. Now, Hulkenberg right now, I believe, is out with some front wing damage from his pit lane exit, so this time might not be super representative, but we'll have to wait and see. Esteban Ocon now finishes Sector 3 of 15.344 with Hulkenberg of 14.448. So that tells us that even with a little bit of damage to the front wing, Hulkenberg is about a second quicker than Ocon there, which is very nice for him for sure. Rise, welcome. Hello. How are you? Welcome along. Hope you're doing well, guys. Welcome to the stream. We've got qualifying on here for us. It's cooking time, baby. Yeah, so who's on used tires? Hamilton, everyone's on used tires right now. So just kind of getting a bit of a feel for the track and not wanting to waste any tires. Don't mind me, lads, just a bit thirsty, innit? You remember when I had 3 viewers? Do you mean like on my videos or on live streams? How long have you been around for, Rise? Because on live. Ah, nice. Well, it's good to still have you around, man. Thanks for the support. David, what's happening? Hope you're well, Carnivale. Mr. Carnivale. My guy. Yeah, so no times right now are representative. God damn it, I'm so tired. F1's killing me, man. I can't wait to move to the UK. Last year near June. Nice, man. That's awesome. It's been a long year. You found my channel. Yo, Prince, thank you. Welcome along. I hope you're good, dude. Thank you for joining. It's good to have you here. Verstappen now on his first flying lap. Thank you for the follow. What time is the sprint race for me? It was at 7:30 p.m. Rise, thank you for the hearts. Much love. Welcome along, guys. Max Verstappen now about to finish Sector 1 on his first flying lap on a new set of tyres. So this is representative. He is only 300, is actually 300 slower than Piastri, who was on a used set of tyres. So interesting. Have they changed their setup to favour the race for tomorrow, or is their pace just that far off? I'm not sure. Welcome, Rise. Yeah, Rise, you'll see that on TikTok, you know, and sometimes we'll have, you know, an average of 800 viewers or something. It really does just fluctuate, but we will see. We will see. You woke up at 4:30 in the morning for the sprint race? Damn, are you from the United States or something? Where are you? That's crazy work. But yeah, interesting stuff. So Verstappen 1/10 down on Piastri through the first two sectors. I repeat, okay, the McLaren's times are not representative. They are on used tyres. So if this is Verstappen pushing, genuinely pushing, this is not great. And we're looking at a situation which could be a hell of a lot more. Hello from Toronto, Canada. Hello from Adelaide, South Australia. I hope you're doing well. Sabrina Carpenter fan page, Ava. Hello. Watching international sport in Australia is like hell. Yes, it is. Liam Lawson's currently purple in Sector 2, so that tells you all you need to know. Maybe they're running a little bit more downforce in preparation for the wet weather, and I think that would make sense as to why they are quicker in Sector 2 compared to their rivals. It will depend, obviously, on their overall time. Track evolution is a thing, though, of course. We're seeing Ollie Behrman now go fastest in the second sector. That's Liam Lawson on provisional P1 right now. Not provisional pole, because pole is determined in the third qualifying session. But Ollie Behrman, behind him, is going even quicker again. Carlos Sainz isn't purple sector 2, neither's Hadjar. The Haasers have shown some pretty good pace this weekend, and I think we might just see that once more. Ollie Behrman goes only third fastest, so actually quickest in sector 2, again would indicate some pretty decent downforce setup for that race tomorrow. Carlos Sainz now goes quickest overall across a whole lap. No purple sectors, but just a better overall pace across a lap. Hadjar goes 8th fastest, and behind Leclerc finishes sector 2. Where does he match up against the Williams of Carlos Sainz? He will finish just in front. So right now Leclerc on for provisional P1 on a new set of softs. So we're going to have the McLarens come out now on the new set of softs to do their representative lap. What is concerning for Max Verstappen is that his new set run has only seen him 6th. Now, is track evolution a thing? Yes, it is. However, there goes Leclerc, fastest overall. Again, no purple sectors, but the best overall time. Hulkenberg goes 11th. And Gasly, fastest in Sector 3, goes 9th. Ocon 13th. And Hamilton right now, purple in Sector 1. Watch out for him as he comes up now to the bus stop chicane. Heavy on the brakes. He's not locked up the rears this time. He gets it turned in to the left. Power down right up against the white line. And that puts him pretty close to the top. No, it's only P6. Only P6. So Hamilton, P6, he is 3/10 off of Leclerc right now. And Verstappen in P8. Who hasn't done a representative time yet? It will be Norris and Piastri. I believe most everyone else has done a representative time. Ocon's actually was also on a used set, so watch out for him. He still has some pace in him. Hello, Dan. How are you? Welcome, Pacific Rim Enjoyer. Lance Stroll, my goat. Best part of South Australia is they have signs letting you know how to get to Victoria. They do indeed. Jabi Prive, welcome. Thank you very much for the follow. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching on TikTok and you want to watch in full landscape with some extra details off to the side, some more telemetry and data, head over to twitch.tv. Meanwhile, Lando Norris is 2.5 tenths off Leclerc in Sector 1. Does that indicate a nicer downforce? Yes, I think it would. Watch Sector 2 will absolutely come alive. So it looks like Leclerc and Hamilton have maybe got a little bit less downforce. Maybe might be cooked for the race tomorrow if it is super wet. They're obviously going to need as much as they can. But just watching the McLaren here of Lando Norris through Sector 2, we're going to see where does that end. Obviously, now we're going to cross the sector split, and there you go, 4/10 up. So he's gained 6/10 on Leclerc in the second sector. That is phenomenal. Now you're going to lose a little bit of time now down the back straight, though, of course, not ideal, but it's okay because, one, you've made up all the time you need, and two, forget qualifying. It's all about having the right setup for the race tomorrow. Piastri is currently yellow in Sector 1, which is interesting, but would indicate maybe some traffic or a little mistake. There goes Lando Norris, purple Sector 3 as well, 6/10 clear of Leclerc. So he will be well and truly safe in Q1 unless we see crazy evolution. Piastri goes purple in Sector 2. Crazy work. The Sector 1 was not great, but Sector 2, wow. Mental scenes. I'd love to see the sector split for Lando Norris. Do I get to see it if I click on overview? So yeah, I do. He did a 42.9. Okay, so it's not that much of a difference, as you can see, guys. Never mind. I like seeing the sector splits. That's nice. So yeah, Piastri goes second fastest. His first sector let him down. What was his first sector? Just out of interest. His first sector was a 10th off. That's not too bad. Not too bad. You don't think track evolution is that good at Spa? It's slower. Track evolution is more gradual. It's not rapid. I mean, it's effective, but obviously because the lap's so large, it takes longer for the track to get rubbered in overall. So, what can you do? Astons are cooked. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're looking at some wet weather specialists in Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso. I'd like to sort of see if we can get a decent look at what the car's doing and how it's behaving. See if we can gain a little bit of an understanding for what kind of setup they're running here. I mean, we're talking about Aston's being cooked, but Mercedes also still right down the bottom. And they have done a representative time. Do I think Mercedes will have a Q1 exit? I wouldn't be shocked. Weirdly enough, I wouldn't be shocked. George, who's in front of George? Is that Lando, or no, that'd be Oscar coming back in. Max is P9 for now. It's all right. He's got another lap in him. The McLarens are done, but they should be plenty safe. Stroll P3. What, in the race or like right now? What do you mean? I am confusion. Alonso P1 in the race? Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Mercs are so slow. Well, they haven't... I don't think they've necessarily set a proper lap yet. So let's watch Antonelli now through Sector 1. Let's have a look. So, a little bit of traffic, but they should keep out of his way. Aussie Sean, no trouble at all, my friend. Do I think Max maybe cook? I do, absolutely. Does Aston have a slow car? It depends on the track, I suppose. Here we go, Antonelli, end of Sector 1. So he's 2/10 clear of Alonso. So he should be okay. I reckon he'll go to like P8 or P9 or something here. George Russell then meanwhile goes purple in Sector 1. So there is pace in the car, which is kind of something I was expecting, I'll be quite honest. Mercedes was strong around here last year. Of course, I had a 1-2 before George was disqualified. We'll have to wait and see how this does pan out, though. Haas will cook this weekend. I think they'll get a nice bundle of points. I wouldn't disagree with you, some random person. That is their name for the record. David Carnevale, stop the session. Sure, I wouldn't mind that. It gives you the evil twin in shows versus the main character. What are you talking about? George is up by 3-6-7 on Alonso. Stroll isn't getting out of the bottom 5 right now as it stands. Ah, I see, David, I see. Antonelli up to the line now. Where is he? P11. That's poor. So it looks like the Mercedes are still running pretty low downforce. Goes 8th fastest. Decent. Decent. Will it be good enough? Stroll won't make it out, will he? No, P18. That's a shame. That's a shame, guys. And Alonso will be much the same, I imagine. P16. Yep, 004. Oh dear, Behrman 5th. Okay, I don't think that's a bad idea. Have Mercedes brought upgrades? Well, if they have it, it's not showing its worth, is it? They could have brought upgrades, but it might not work. You know, sometimes that is the case where they revert parts because it didn't do what they thought it would. Bordelotto P20 right now. He should jump out. There you go, P10. Not bad one bit. Ollie Behrman now is a favourite to do a bit of something special this weekend. Hajar goes P4. Gasly has just put in the best first sector time, apparently. Sorry? What are you talking about? Behrman goes P5. There you go. Aussie Sean, did you mean in this session or did you mean next session? Very fascinating. Esteban Ocon right now in P18. Gasly, he is purple sector 1. There you go. It said he was still on an outlap, but that was absolutely wrong. How's Gasly going now? So purple sector 1, sector 2. How do we shape up? Is this just a matter of low downforce? It might be. Ocon goes 13th fastest. He should be okay because we're looking at a situation where it's the Astons are done. So I believe Ocon is safe. Gasly will likely clear them very safely. Norris is on another lap, and I'm not sure why. That is a new set of softs, isn't it? Why has he done that? Why has he done that? What are you doing, Lando? What a waste of tyres. Gasly, that's going to be a great lap. P11, that's not bad. You can't really complain. Hamilton right now is in the drop zone. He is P16. What? How is this happening? Bortoleto is P15 right now. Is Hamilton going to improve? Can he get himself out of the drop zone? Up to the line, it didn't look too hooked up, but it looked good enough. It's P7. Hamilton has pulled it through in Sector 3, and that is Lando coming into the pits, as to be expected. Why did he come out? He was P1. He was always going to be safe. Colapinto now to the line goes P17. And that is a painful day for Aston Martin, unfortunately. 1920. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, that's upset me, that. Ah. Give me a minute. I need to just... Stroll, Alonso, Antonelli. That's not the bottom 3 we would have wanted, guys. That is not what we would have wanted. Kimi really seems to struggle. He has been struggling, hasn't he? Kimi's having a tough weekend. Absolutely he is. Flynn Smith, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. I hope you're doing well. So, Mikey, what happened? Well, we've just seen the end of Q1 there, and we've seen Stroll, Alonso, Antonelli, and Colapinto exit. And Lewis Hamilton has had a track time deleted. Lewis Hamilton has had track time deleted, and he's P16. Hamilton's out. Hamilton is out of Q1. Track time deleted. Track limits at turn 4, lap 8. Wow. Lewis Hamilton exits Q1 by a shock. A shock track time deletion. Turn 4, so that is Eau Rouge Radion. Exit of Radion, isn't it? Oh dear, Lewis. That is not what we would have wanted. A P18 in the sprint qualifying yesterday and a P16 now, and he just misses out by a matter of 7 thousandths of a second. Lap time deletion. Our bottom 5, it's not Bortoleto. Bortoleto makes it through by the skin of his teeth now on a technicality, and it's Stroll in 20th, Alonso 19th, Antonelli 18th, Colapinto 17th, and Lewis Hamilton 16th. Cuna Penthes 16th. Hamilton lap time deleted after the fact. Gabby Bortoleto would have been taking his helmet off there, getting ready to go in and just have a shower. But no, mate, head back out there. There's still more in you, lad. Come on, Sauber. Heartbreak for Hamilton in what has been a very, very disappointing weekend so far. Can Leclerc put the Ferrari on his back? At the moment, we're seeing more and more jumbled up combinations of cars on the top sort of end. Look, we've got Hajar, Behrman, Sainz, Lawson, Albon, Russell right now in the top 10. That is incredible. Let's see what Crofty has to say now when we get back to it. Lewis Hamilton, track time deleted. Yikes. That's close. That is incredibly close. I'd love to see a different camera angle on that because that is a very fine margin. Oh, I don't know, you know. Mikey, you're going back to work. I hope you're doing well, man. Hopefully it's a good day for you wherever you are doing your work. Verstappen goes to Mercedes. Maybe they keep Russell with how Kimi's performing. Verstappen's not going to go to Mercedes unless Red Bull are really honky at the start of next year. So we'll have to wait a bit of time before we get an answer on that. 99% sure he'll start the year next year at Red Bull. I mean, if it's rubbish, then maybe he'll leave. Ollie Behrman right now, loving it. Looking at the timing sheets. His eyes are glowing, glistening. Ollie Behrman is cooking, lads. He's P5. It's interesting. Sainz is looking confident. Yes, he absolutely is. And it's a track that Carlos is quite nifty around here, isn't he? He's starting to come alive a little bit, is Carlos Sainz, after kind of struggling at the start with his comparison up against Alex Albon. But he's now starting to find his feet a little bit, I think. Yeah, that is incredibly close. Very close from Lewis. Which rookie has impressed me so far? Hadjar, I think, has been one of the most impressive. I mean, today, Behrman's cooking. Antonelli's been good as well. Bortoletto, it's hard to read because that car is not very nice to drive. Hulkenberg would disagree in Silverstone, but that's just one race and whatever. But, yeah, it makes sense that you start at the start and get used to Ferrari cars. I agree with you, some random person. I absolutely do. Hadjar has definitely been the most consistent. I agree. And also, in a car that was considered not that great, I mean, but it is proving to be decent now. Oh, Hamilton will be fuming. Yikes. Yikes. Oh, Lewis, it's not gone well, has it? Behrman is impressing this weekend, so let's see how that continues on. The Haas is it's not proven to be too shabby. Both out of Q1, which is something that we didn't see a good few years ago. If you look at teams like Haas and Williams from 2020, 2021, they were clearly, like, the gap between the two of them and the rest of the field in qualifying was just stupid. Getting out of Q1 was a guarantee for pretty much every driver that wasn't in a Haas or a Williams, because you were realistically fighting over one spot that was going to be eliminated, because it was almost a guarantee that the Williams and Haas's were going. So we've come a long way. We sure have. Both McLarens now going out early to try and drop a lap down. Everyone actually coming out now. There's no faffing around. Hopefully no unsafe releases out there today. Or I should say this session, because there have been today already. Angela Cullen following Lewis through. He's still got his helmet on. How is Ferrari not able to build a good car? Yeah, they have been struggling, haven't they? I think there's more to it than just do better. It's such a large business and a big organization that it's not a quick fix. You know, you're looking at like some big complex systems. It's like when you know, how do we fix homelessness? It's a crazy reference, but how do we fix homelessness, guys? Or just make people get jobs and commit to the workforce and all these things. It's like, okay, that sounds pretty straightforward. But it's not, because it's so complex. You know, these little parts of the team maybe aren't working as good as they can, but is that because of this, or is it because of this? Why is it this way? Is it a morale thing? Is it a team focus? Is it leadership? Is it luck? Like, what is it? Is it facility? There's so much at play that it takes a while to really diagnose an issue, and then to come up with a solution is even harder. And so if you're like Lewis Hamilton coming into Ferrari and you're already going to adapt to a team after being at Mercedes for, what was it, 8 years or so? You know, it's like, okay, they're 9 years, right? It's not really all that easy to just quickly... Is it 10? My brain's not serving me today. Just bear with me. 11. Yes. Sounds about right. Verstappen now starting the first lap of Q2. Let's keep on board with him and see how he goes. Favorite F1 driver? I'm a bit of an Oscar fanboy. What can I say? Just listening to what the commentators are saying. He crashed out recently. Who for Lewis? It's not. So someone has said it's not Lewis's fault because why would Charles be so good? Oh, Leclerc did. Okay. Ocon, purple sector 1, quicker than Verstappen. But we must look at the tyres. Verstappen is on new ones, and so is Ocon. Never mind. Carlos is on a used set right now. Maybe scrubbed, technically. We'll see. We got a Sauber in the way of Verstappen. Never mind, that was fine. There's no issues there. Approaching now the end of Sector 2. We're looking at like minute 13.1s before. And that's a 12.96. That's very nicely done indeed. That's very solid. Jesus. Overall, 8 tenths quicker than Ocon. So it must be like 9 tenths quicker than Ocon in Sector 2 alone. That's ridiculous. 2.737. He's a second quicker. Far out, man. 40.951 is crazy. Mate. Whew. Wow. Leclerc is used to the abuse. Yeah, look. It's one of them. Wow, well done, Verstappen. And Yuki Tsunoda too, coming through with a 41.245. Not half bad. Lando going quicker in Sector 2 though, and that is where Max made up most of his time, so he must be flying. Piastri goes P1, baby. Provisional P1. 3 tenths clear of Max, and it looks like Lando will join him up the front. In fact, he actually only goes second. So Oscar, again, being able to maintain the pace over the whole lap and not push it too hard in either one place. Verstappen making magic in the RB. I've never seen such a difference between the seats in one team. Yeah, but right now it's only 3 tenths. I mean, but overall, yes, absolutely. It's kind of crazy. Do I think Alpine will use their final driver boot they're allowed to do this season? I don't think so. Colapinto's a safe bet. I think, you know, he's proven that he's quick. Consistent, not right now. I don't think he's necessarily proven to be a reliable driver lap after lap after lap after lap, but he's got pace for damn sure. And that's and consistency is something that we can work on. Leclerc goes 4th fastest, 4.5 seconds down on Oscar. Hadjar now to the line. That looks pretty decent. Only P8. Not the best. It's ahead of Ocon, though. And that's kind of who he's going to be competing with. So as long as he can stay around that mark, he's not doing half bad. Also, he is, in fact... Lap time deleted? No, I'm just delayed over here. Never mind, guys. I'm sorry. How about that? Now we're looking at Ollie Behrman. Let's have a look. Oh, damn. Nice little recovery there from Ollie Behrman. Bottas is on the list. He would be on the list, that's for sure, because he's an available driver for anyone in the sense that he'd be a quick fix sometimes, you know. But also, is it like, is he really? Is it worth it? I don't think so. I don't think so, because he would also take a little bit of time to get up to speed, right? And it's not the sort of thing that's going to really be an investment of energy. You work on trying to get Bottas up to speed, then it's not really going to do an awful lot of good in the big picture. Whereas if let's say, okay, purely hypothetical, you put Bottas in that seat for a year and he gets no points. Okay, sure, he might be getting 11ths and 12ths more often, whatever. That's cool. But a year of experience in the seat with no points. Or if they put a rookie in the team in that seat for a year, get no points, and they're less consistent, I think that's a better option. Because you're looking at development and an investment in talent. Sure, a little bit better of a result Bottas would have, maybe, but I don't think it's worth it. You've got to leave. You've got to nourish a talent. I think if you're not doing well, that's an opportunity to go, you know what, we're not getting anything anyway. Let's just work on our talent. Blade, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. Stroll needs to go open up a seat for another driver. I think maybe open up a seat for Max Verstappen. Maybe. I don't think Lance needs to go anywhere. I don't have a problem with him as everyone else does. I think the Lance hate is not necessarily deserved in a lot of ways. Bless him. Everything you want. Max is staying at RB for sure. For the next year, the start of next year at least, I absolutely agree with you. Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, Stroll's not that bad. He just doesn't... And I think Jacob is closer to the solution. Not right, but closer. Because I think Lance... If Lance... I've said this before, I'll say it again. If Lance isn't fighting for points and he thinks the best he's going to get is P14, he's like... I feel like less than other drivers... or more than other drivers, he's going to be like, oh, it doesn't matter anyway, fuck it. I'm just going to, like, not bother. Whereas, you know, Fernando, he'll fight for every last point, every last place, no matter if there's points or not. And I think that's the difference. I think Lance doesn't... I think he drops his head a bit, which is a mental situation, not a skill issue. I mean, you could argue that that comes into skill. I think that's not a bad argument, but you know, it's one of them. Verstappen's not getting more than P3. What, in the championship? I agree. Clarissa, thank you for the follow. Welcome along. Esteban Ocon. Esteban Ocon. It's about mentality for Stroll? Absolutely, I agree. Well, we haven't actually got into Q3 yet. We've done Q1 and Yuki made it through. Oh dear. Alright, guys. Q1. Yeah, no. Yuki made it through, man. Yuki's cooking. Thanks, man. I agree. What was your name? Some random person. It's Q2. The placement basically irrelevant. Absolutely. Yuki got better. Amen. Also, here's an interesting factor for you. What do we know that a lot of teams are doing today in preparation for the conditions tomorrow? More downforce. What does that mean for the Red Bull team? A car that's more drivable for the average person. Why is Yuki doing better today? Because the setup favors downforce more than the usual setup. So it's more drivable. And as a result, the delta between him and Max is less. So you're going to see that in full effect today, I think. I think that's a factor as to why Yuki will be having a bit more of a pleasant day out there in the sun in Belgium. Gasly's first sector sees him 1.5 tenths clear of Lawson. It's going to be heavy rain tomorrow, yeah. Max using less downforce, so he'll struggle in the rain. No, he's got more downforce than he did yesterday, I believe. I mean, overall, the Red Bulls are like running a bit less than the usual team, but it will have changed since the sprint race. So I think for the sprint, they've changed the setup since the sprint. Let's have a look. Come on, guys. Gasly into the bus stop, flings it through. This should see him clear of the top of the bottom 5. It's gonna be like P8, P9. Not bad, not bad. Sector 3 is a bit of a letdown. Hadjar should improve here. Should go up to P6 or so. He has done. And Hulkenberg might struggle to clear the bottom 5 he hasn't got in. It's P11. George is purple in Sector 1, but yellow Sector 2, and that is where most of the time has been made by other drivers, so that's not a good sign for George Russell. Carlos is much the same. Approaching the bus stop now. Let's see how deep he goes on the brakes. Just before the 100, heavy on the brakes, late downshifts, attack the right-hand curb, get a nice fling out of the final corner and up to the line. That should be improvements. It's P6 for George, but yellow in Sector 2 and 3. Signs also improving. Should be a decent little gain. It's not. It's P14. That's not great for Williams. We've got Albon now on the cusp as well. He should be able to get another lap in, though. Ocon is currently purple in Sector 1. Sector 2, he is slower than Albon, though, so that shows that the Haas is running a lower downforce setup on Ocon at least. The fact that he's purple Sector 1, but slower than even Albon in Sector 2. So they're running very different setups. Behrman wanted the downforce, Ocon wanted the straight line speed. Let's see how we go to the line. Ocon's not going to do anything amazing. It's P11. He's not got out. Behrman, though, up to the line. How does he fare against his teammate? That looks decent. It's P12. It's a full-on 10th behind Ocon. So both Haas cars unable to get into Q3 there, with Gasly in P13. Is he on a lap? I don't think so. I think we have just seen our bottom 5. Albon gets through by the skin of his teeth. How about that? Sainz was looking confident. He sure was. But unfortunately, confidence wasn't quite enough. Behrman goes very deep at turn 1, and that's that's going to compromise it. You're sliding on the exit of turn 1, and before you know it, you've just got a massive deduction to your lap time at the most important part of the track. Sector 1 is all about that exit from turn 1, and if you don't get it, you're cooked. Hamilton is washed, you say? Yeah, that's a shame, Philly. But what do we do there? We say goodbye to Carlos Sainz, Hulkenberg, Gasly, Behrman, and Ocon. Both horses see themselves out. Williams and Sauber still have one horse in this race in Bortoleto and Albon. And both Racing Bulls get through with Russell, Tsunoda, Leclerc, Verstappen, Norris, and of course Oscar Piastri. How about it? Hamilton sending into McLaren Daniel Ricciardo. It's not an awful reference. It's not an awful reference, and that is really quite sad. I don't disagree one bit. Same happened to Seb. Yeah. I am a bit of an Aston fan, yeah. McQueen is fading. McQueen is fading. Let's go, Borderletto. Amen. I will kill my ex. Not the best idea. Top 10's not bad for now. We're going to have a nice mix of cars. Hopefully, we can see one of those bottom teams towards the top 3 rows. I would love to see Borderletto get maybe something like a P5. We heard Ollie Behrman. Where is our mate? Where is Sean? Sean said that Behrman was going to end P5. He is, in fact, not in Q3, so that's not ideal. What time does Q3 start? It won't be long. There will be like a couple minutes now. Yuki pole position. It would be crazy. Is it going to be wet? If it is, and he can get a lap time in at the start, it's possible. 14th isn't bad as well for Hulkenberg. Absolutely. He can push on. The Saubers not in an awful run of form recently. They got a podium last time out. How about it? Lewis should retire or join Red Bull. Mate. Could you imagine him and Max's teammates? That would be absolutely crazy, dude. Wow. Mate, I mean, we joked about it back in the day, but that would be just crazy. Hulkenberg is not happy. He says, what the hell? What the hell? With the rain as well, Hulkenberg looks like he could snag another 8th or 7th. Yes. Rain is pretty much guaranteed tomorrow. I think it might be possible today for quali. Hulk looks good. He sure does. Bortoletto looking good as well. Currently P9 on his exit of Q2. Let's see how he goes. I don't think he'll get much better than 9th or 10th in Q3, but we'll have to wait and see. All power to him. I hope he does well. Very talented young man. Deserves a seat that can give him something a little bit better. But, you know, we don't know how Audi's going to run next year. I hope they have a strong start. It's interesting. We're essentially getting 2 new teams. Obviously, Cadillac's a brand new team altogether. There's no doubting that. Brand new. We've got an 11th constructor. Very exciting times. I think a lot of people are forgetting that. People think about, oh yeah, Cadillac's joining next year, but we're getting an entirely new team. Because it's like, sure, we've had a few changes. You know, we had Alpine from Renault. We had Sauber back from Romeo. We've had then Stake, whatever you want to call it, Sauber. I still call it Sauber. So yeah, who do I think Cadillac will sign? Perez and Zhou. I think they'll go with either a Perez or a Bottas. More likely than not to be Perez. Though it's a big risk. It's a big risk. I think it would be Perez on a 1-year deal. I think Perez on a 1-year deal. And then someone young. Now, we're going to see probably fighting over Alex Dunn and Arvid Lindblad. Maybe Jack Crawford, but Jack Crawford, Aston Martin. Lindblad is with Red Bull, and McLaren has Alex Dunn. McLaren obviously aren't going to have a seat for Alex next year. It's Lando and Oscar settled in, unless some crazy blow-up happens at the end of this year. Who knows? So I think Cadillac will want to look to have one of the young guys come in. Whether that's Alex, Arvid, whatever, Hadjar, maybe Lawson, if Red Bull... See, because if Red Bull decide that they want Arvid in, because they see him as a talent that they want to nurture and not let someone else take, they'll have to get rid of one of their current drivers. Max I don't think he's going to leave at the start of next year, at least. Hajar, Lawson, and Sonoda. One of them gets the boot. I think Arvid's going to be involved in this mix. I don't think Cadillac will go for 2 solid, experienced drivers. They could. I mean, we've seen a couple other teams do that in the past. I think you could argue that Haas did that for a little bit back at the beginning. But, I mean, because, yeah, Grosjean had been around for a while, Magnussen had been around for a while. Then Hulkenberg as well. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Sonoda gets the boot, you reckon, Jacob? It's an interesting one. Sonoda's had a lot of time to prove himself, right? Lawson and Hajar less so. Limpan, thank you for the follow. Tam, thank you for the follow. Q3 is underway, guys. We've got 11 minutes on the clock now until the end. What time is it? It's 12:15. I'm so tired, lads. Ugh. I can't wait to sleep. Not to be a Debbie Downer or anything, but I'm knackered. He's not going to go to Racing Bulls and they're going to promote Hajar. What do you mean? Sonoda. Yeah, I think that's a possibility. I'm from South Australia. 4 RB driver. How is it in Australia? Have I seen huntsman spiders? Huntsmen, yes, I have. Huntsmen are harmless. They don't touch us. Huntsmen, ironically, don't hunt men. They kill other bugs. They're totally chill. Someone will DNF you to the rain tomorrow. I don't disagree with that. I think that's very possible. Very weird Rebel technically has 2 teams. Yes, I agree. But there are other ties. Haas and Ferrari work in tandem. McLaren and Williams. I said not McLaren and Williams. Well, kind of, but Mercedes and Williams have worked quite close together in recent years. So yeah. It's a bit of an interesting one, but you know, it's not too bad. Isn't that just the engine, though? Yes, but no. I mean, you're right. It is. They are engine providers, but they also do. They do have a lot of correspondence. Yeah, they do have a lot of relations, business relations. So Verstappen gets 141.0, which is decent. But the McLarens cooked that in Q2. Norris is absolutely flying. He's had a far better middle sector. Holy moly. Crazy. So Verstappen still P1 clear of Russell, clear of Leclerc. Piastri should take that from them. And he does by 3.2 tenths. But Norris should also take that from Piastri with some margin as well. So 2 tenths clear of Piastri. So a good little banker there for Lando Norris, that's for damn sure. Piastri will be angry on him as well. But also Verstappen not on new tyres there. Tsunoda, Verstappen not on new tyres. Tsunoda also not on new tyres. But yeah, Max put that on P3 without a new set. Not bad. Max said, really weird, didn't have the same grip. Yeah, but also you are on used tyres, so give yourself a bit of a break. They work together alone, but it seems cheesy. I agree. It's hard. Do I like Australia? I don't mind Australia at all. I don't mind it. I'm going to move to the UK, but Australia is good. It's the sort of place I'd like to raise a family. If that makes sense. How are the animals? Are they dangerous? Like literally any wild animal, if you go up to it and you mess around with it and you pee them off, they're gonna be angry at you, but you'll be fine. It's like, I think honestly America has more dangerous animals than Australia, in the sense that we don't really have anything that's gonna walk into your backyard and cause any damage, or like people in America, like they'll just have bears just cruising in their backyard, right? We don't. I've got to move to England for work, though. I prefer Adelaide. I'm from Adelaide. I prefer Adelaide to live in. Now, Melbourne's better in the sense of work and media opportunities, which is the sort of stuff that I do, right? I do media, so for that sense, I'd rather live in Melbourne. However, I prefer Adelaide as a place. What do I do for work? You're looking at it. F1 media work. So, yeah, this is me. All the wild people in Elizabeth. Yeah, for real. And he gets it. How did Hamilton end up in P16? Lap time deleted. His banker wasn't good, and he had a lap time deleted after the fact, so it dropped him back down to P16. How did I get into media? Did I just start it, or do I study it? I just started it, really. I started by doing exactly what I'm doing now, TikTok. Start making videos on it, talk about it, make some connections, and from that over a long period of time, get a little opportunity here, do a bit of work there, and before you know it, you can build it up over a long time. I've been doing it for 3 years now. Why is it better than from England? You can be online working from anywhere. No. It's better from England because that's where the opportunities are to actually get involved. I want to work with F1. I want to work with teams. I want to go to events. I want to do this. I want to do presenting jobs. F1's based in England. All the media on ground opportunities are there. It's also a hell of a lot easier to get to races from the UK. You can easily jump on a tube. It's not a tube, sorry, but a train, and hop the border to Europe and work from there. There's a lot more just branding opportunities. That's where all the work is, really. So, for that sense, it's better. And the creator domain as well, if I wanted to work with other creators, they're all in the UK as well, so gotta do what you gotta do. Connor Caulfield. My boy! My boy. Sorry, I've been zoned out, quickly checking some messages and stuff. What's happening, Connor? Hope you're good, man. How did Hamilton end up in P16? We've already been there. How to get into it? Why is it better from England? Do I have a favorite content creator or someone I want to be like? I want to be myself. I learn a lot from my friends. You know, I'm quite young in comparison to people that are my peers. We're currently looking at Max starting his run. I'll get to your question in a second. For now, let's jump on board with Max Verstappen and watch how he runs through the first corner. That looked like a decent run for a good exit. A little bit of wheel spin on the exit there, but a solid minimum speed line. He wasn't super sharp off, so he should have carried a bit of speed, which is what he needs to do, considering his lack there of downforce. Maintain that speed, mate. How is he going in straight line speed? Let's have a look at that first sector split. That will be actually yellow sector 1. So he's 2/10 down on Norris. He's going to need to gain a lot of time in sector 2, and for him, luckily, that's where his car should come alive, especially with a set of new tyres. That's where you're going to see the effect of new rubber. It's a very, very downforce heavy, mechanical grip heavy sector. Let's see how that hooks up for Max. Track temps have dropped a little bit, it seems, but Leclerc, ironically, has gone faster sector 1. Again, though, less downforce running on that car, we do believe. So let's have a look at that middle sector on Leclerc when he does come around. Max Verstappen is green in the middle sector, but it is still 4/10 down. It doesn't look like Max is going to be contesting for pole here. It looks pretty well sound for him. I look forward to seeing Piastri and his first sector, because Lando right now on himself, he is improving in sector 2. It's purple. Max is now coming through the bus stop. He's hopped over the first part of the chicane, runs the exit wide right up to the line. It was a decent third sector, it looks like, but he is still third fastest. He's not made any improvements. That's not great for Max Verstappen. Lando Norris now coming up to the bus stop, late on the brakes. Oscar is green in sectors 1 and 2. Lando looked a little bit unsettled there on the first part of the bus stop chicane. He should improve. He hasn't. Yeah, sector 3 was pretty poor. And it looks like Piastri might actually be able to get this done now. All he needs to do is hook up the bus stop chicane, carry a decent speed. Leclerc goes third fastest and drops Verstappen down to 4th. Hadjar starts 5th, it seems, unless we see George overtake. And it's Piastri to the line, DRS open. That seemed pretty damn quick, but it isn't an improvement, and it is still second place. He's 800ths behind Lando Norris, and it looks like Lando's going to get it done. Russell doesn't improve on the McLarens. He finishes P5, Hadjar 6th. Bordelotto finishes 10th, and it looks like Lando Norris is going to get pole position for the race tomorrow. Sector 3 was purple for George. He did all he could. Lawson gets Yuki Tsunoda. Has Tsunoda crossed the line? Is he on a lap? He wouldn't be, would he? Surely not. Is he done? Oh, wait. No, there we go. P6. Well done, Tsunoda. And Alex Albon goes P5. Have a look at that, mate. Get in there. What a lap. Ooh, baby. Well done, mate. You do love to see it. Max Verstappen, P4. Let's have a look. Yeah, it was on the exit. Lots of wheel spin at the start of that lap. So yeah, his line looked good, but he just, yeah, he did slide. He did slide a lot. Yikes. Yikes. All right, back to the questions. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Lando Norris is your pole sitter for the Belgian Grand Prix. He will start from P1 tomorrow. Oscar Piastri starting from P2. However, is P2 maybe the place you want to start? I'd say yes. Probably. Oscar might actually be in prime time position here, because you get a decent, you can either have him by corner 1, because you're going to get the better sweep in line. I mean, the chances of you having them into the first corner is very unlikely, but you're going to get a better exit unless you completely cook your start, and you're going to have the slipstream all the way Eau Rouge Raidillon into the first major braking zone. So I think Oscar, while he's starting P2, it's Lando Norris on pole position. Oscar Piastri will be quite pleased with that, I think. Silently chuffed with the situation he's in. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is your qualifying for the race tomorrow. We've got Lando Norris in P1, Piastri P2, Leclerc P3, Verstappen P4, and Alex Albon in P5. Very happy times for Alex Albon. Russell 6th, Tsunoda 7th, Hajar 8th, Lawson 9th, and Bortoleto in P10. That's your top 10 there, who did compete in Q3. Ocon 11th, Behrman 12th. Behrman upset not to get through to Q3, and you know what? Fair enough, because he has had great pace. Gasly in 13th, Hulkenberg 14th, Sainz in 15th, Hamilton a shock in P16. He saw an exit from Q1 due to a time deletion. Franco Colapinto, my apologies, in P17. Antonelli, another shock exit in P18. And Alonso and Stroll, the two Aston Martins who have shown to have a bit of pace lately, starting 19th and 20th. The back row occupied by British Racing Green. I, for one, am not too chuffed with that situation. But hey, it's going to be all made up tomorrow. The wet weather shall be coming down. Let's see how things all stack up tomorrow. Thank you all very much for tuning in for qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix. Make sure you hit that follow button, subscribe, leave a like, what have you, and we'll catch you all very soon for the race. We'll see you all very soon. Tomorrow, we are going to be absolutely cooking. Are you ready? I sure am. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. So, Connor, thanks